The Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport is not a simple modification to the ordinary Chiron. Rather, it's a completely new model. In its simplest form, this is the 1,479 horsepower ground-to-air missile developed by Bugatti. When compared to the Chiron and Chiron Sport, it's less solitary, more direct and more tightly wrapped, and more engaging in its presentation. It also took a significant amount of time to design. It may, however, be speedier, but what makes Chiron Pur Sport different from the standard Chiron? And what does the new model have to offer? The Bugatti Pur Sport, which costs $3.6 million, has a few distinguishing characteristics that set it apart from the lesser-priced Chiron. The front splitter has been expanded to go along with the larger air intakes and revised snout, as well as the wider tires. There are new air extractors fitted into the tops of the significantly revised front fenders, as well as a horseshoe grille that is somewhat broader than the previous one. There's a massive diffuser in the back to scare anyone who happens to pass by, as well as an incredibly gorgeous titanium exhaust outlet that may be considered a work of art in its own right. Finally, there's the fixed rear wing, which can be used instead of the motorized unit on lower-priced models. When viewed from a distance, each Bugatti sends a message. Pur Sport, on the other hand, appears to have some discrepancies. What comes to mind first is the spaceship-like wing that protrudes from the back of the vehicle. First, the word Bugatti is painted on the top of the wing, which serves to accentuate the vehicle's importance. Also, the reason for this could be so that the owner's security detail can track the automobile from a helicopter after getting lost in the woods. But that's not reality. It serves to accentuate the importance more than it does to track the vehicle. In addition, the number 16 painted on the model's front grille, which depicts the number of cylinders in the engine, is a good design element. When it comes to personalizing the appearance of a Bugatti, the possibilities are endless. But is it possible to remove the wing lettering and grille number if you don't want them there? Well, it's entirely up to you how you want things done. There will only be 60 of these 3.6 million Bugattis built, and the firm wants you to be completely satisfied with your purchase. The Pur Sport's front visibility is outstanding. When the start button is pressed, the starter motor begins to whir in dramatic anticipation. After that, the W16 quad-turbocharged engine roars to life with an even louder exhaust than the Chiron Super Sport. In comparison to its previous version, it's more exciting, more mechanical, and more engrossing. Even before the Pur Sport car begins to move, the driver's at risk of experiencing sensory overload. It was possible to reduce the curb weight of the standard Chiron by more than 110 pounds thanks to the removal of the wing and sound insulation, as well as the adoption of thinner seats in the Pur Sport. However, given the fact that the Chiron's previously evaluated weight, 4,544 pounds, that diet observation can only get you so far in some cases. However, the reduction in weight has the effect of intensifying the mechanical symphony that already exists in the cockpit of the vehicle. When this vehicle engages in a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, the entire chassis appears to stiffen and prepare for action. This is a degree of participation that some Chiron purchasers may look forward to experiencing. When you put the pedal to the metal, the Pur Sport zips through the traffic like a well-behaved pussycat, which is very delightful. And when driving around town, the Pur Sport, unlike earlier Chirons, is surprisingly quiet for a motorsport with so much potential for performance and so much raw power. This is a machine that may be used on a regular basis without producing any issues other than the fact that it's famous. The Pur Sport's enormous power is put to the test as it enters the lanes of traffic on the coastal highways. To be on the same road as a mere Lamborghini or Ferrari makes you feel like you're in disgrace. It should have its own lane of traffic on whichever road it happens to be on. According to Bugatti, the aerodynamic modifications made to the Pur Sport produce significant downforce when traveling at high speeds. Among these are the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires mounted on carbon blade magnesium wheels that are each approximately 9 pounds lighter than the aluminum wheels they replace. in addition to a stiffer suspension with increased front wheel camber. The suspension is 65% firmer in the front and 33% stiffer in the rear when compared to other Chirons. However, it's the tires that stand out the most. In comparison to the Sport Cup 2s, the 2Rs on the Chiron Sport are more aggressive and feature a softer compound, allowing them to respond even faster to steering inputs. It's true that tire noise can be bothersome when traveling for long lengths of time, but it's merely part of the show while driving for shorter amounts of time. While the 1.06 grams of skid pad grip achieved by the Chiron Sport was amazing, this all-wheel drive vehicle could outperform it. The Pur Sport's gear ratios were also revised, resulting in a 15% tighter spread than that of previous Chirons in the same category. The fact that shifts occur early and the engine RPM drop just a small amount between them makes a notable difference in acceleration. This results in a maximum speed of 217 miles per hour for the Pur Sport, which is highly fast but less than the Sport model's declared maximum speed of 261 miles per hour. However, despite this, it's able to accelerate even more quickly than the other cars on the road. Because of the weight reduction and altered gearing, the Chiron Sport's outstanding 2.4-second 60 mile per hour sprint may be trimmed by 1/10 of a second or so. The Chiron Pur Sport's interior is almost entirely devoid of leather in favor of a lighter Alcantara that provides a firmer grasp on your body. It may be a little less opulent than the Chiron, but it's molded in the same shape and should be almost as comfortable and accommodating in terms of inside space, if not more so. Having your hands rest comfortably on the Alcantara wrapped steering wheel should be a pleasant experience. Just make sure you don't go in with a pair of jeans on. The lighter Pur Sport version of the Chiron features a pair of digital driver information displays flanked by a classic analog speedometer, which is a significant variation from the standard model. Features such as parking sensors and a rear view camera, adaptive suspension, ambient lighting in the form of an S-shaped arc, a heated mirror, a rain-sensing wiper system, and a navigation system have also been included in this new design. The usual advanced traction and stability management algorithms, as well as driver-adjustable driving modes, are all included as standard equipment. We also have diamond membrane tweeters and sophisticated mid-range speakers present in the current model. In the new Bugattis, there's no longer a central infotainment screen. Instead, the right side driver information display displays navigation information as well as other data. A Wi-Fi hotspot is included with the Pur Sport, so if you're searching for a vehicle that can connect to the internet, you'll enjoy this new model. The Chiron's entire warranty and free planned maintenance for the first 4 years of ownership are anticipated to apply to the Pur Sport as well, or even extended or better plans, despite the fact that no formal warranty announcements have been made. It's not necessary to conduct crash tests for rare and expensive vehicles such as the Chiron Pur Sport, but the model is strong enough to endure many crashes by Bugatti without sustaining significant structural damage. The Chiron Pur Sport's handling improvements include a 2.5-degree increase in negative camber, as well as a 10% boost in side-to-side traction, to name a couple of examples. Because the Chiron already outperforms the Veyron in terms of handling, the company is generally aiming to make its vehicles more reminiscent of the racers of the early 20th century that helped to establish the company's illustrious reputation. Bugatti claims that the new Sport Plus mode gives you greater freedom on dry ground before the traction and stability systems kick in, that you can even cause the car to slip through rapid corners while in Sport Plus mode, which is a first for Bugatti. It's intended to be lighter, more agile, and better suited for twisting circuits than its predecessors, and it achieves these goals. When driving in mixed conditions, the standard Chiron achieves 9 to 11 miles per gallon on the highway, while the Pur Sport achieves 10 to 14 miles per gallon, providing a maximum range of 238 miles from a 26.4-gallon gasoline tank. Despite the fact that this machine consumes a lot of fuel, it's unlikely that those who can buy it will be bothered to notice. So what do you think of the new Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport? Well, thanks for watching the video. We'll catch you on the next one.